Hey, it's Rob from Panacea Survival Tools. I'm here today to show you a neat trick. And that trick is how to start a fire with a mushroom. In this case, it's a poly-pore, which is commonly known as a shelf fungus. It makes a little roof. These are commonly growing out of dead trees or dead stumps. You'll see them, and when they're dry, you can just come along and break them off. And that's actually an indicator that they are dead or they're dormant. And you can they'll be brittle enough to break off. Otherwise, they're really strong. One time I had one on a tree when I was cross-country skiing, and I tried to break it off with a ski. I couldn't even break it off with a ski. Of course, it was thicker than this one, but it was unbelievably strong. And I never got it. I just ended up leaving. Anyway, a couple things about the poly-pore. These were commonly known and used for a coal extender. A coal extender is something that's used, usually grind into a powder, and you put it with your coal, and that helps your coal to grow bigger. You know, the dust is a fuel for the coal. You can easily burn it. So it'll make your coal bigger so you can get better ignition in your tinder bundle. So it's also, poly-pores are also commonly used to transport fire back in the day. The Iceman had some poly-pores on him, and they thought that they were medicinal that he was using, but I believe they're actually used as a coal extender and also to transport his fire, because it's so much easier at the end of the day to just if you start an edge burning like this, it will burn all day. You can just transport this maybe on a necklace or some other way, when you get to your camp, you've traveled as far as you could for the day, you can just break that piece off and blow that up into a fire instead of having to, make the effort to, get the bow drill out and use those calories. So it's interesting. That's what I believe he did. So, anyways, this is the hearth board, obviously, for my bow drill. And another thing I wanted to say is that if you can find one about this size or anyone that's big enough just to be able to put your foot on and still have enough room for your spindle, then you have a ready-made hearth board. You don't have to cut it out and spend the calories shaping a hearth board to get it to go. So that's another plus. Another plus with it is that sometimes you'll find these growing on a dry side of a stump, and you can come along and you can use these even if it's been raining, or lightly raining at least. If it's a dry one that's dead, it will sheath the water off a little bit, and often under here it'll be dry enough to make a coal. So those are the pluses about using the poly-pore. Next thing, I just want to show you my kit that I used for my bow drill. This is the bow that I use. I made this when I was down south last spring. It was their winter, of course. And and I'm using this Buckeye. I'm using the Buckeye for the spindle. I have it labeled there. And what I do is that let me tell you, the Buckeye is that silvery tree right behind me. That was one of the preferred woods of the indigenous people of this area, the Maidu. And also, this is the nut that it produces, giant nut. You can see this one sprouting. Plant this one when we're done. It's looking for soil. And they'd eat these, by leaching them. They'd grind up and leach them a lot. And I understand they're really bland. I've never tried it before, but it seems like there's a lot of food, so. But apparently the acorns were tastier, so they didn't use these so much. But they would use these because they're really toxic, actually, if they're not leached. You have to crush these up, and you can dam a small area in a stream where there's trout or fish, and you can break these up and throw them in there, and they'll actually make them suffocate. It will coat their gills with some kind of toxin that makes them come to the surface and suffocate if you do enough of it. Okay, then also I'm using this as my handhold, which is a soapstone that I carved. I always just put a little bit of lube in there like that, and that makes it quiet, which I like. I don't like a squeak, squeak, squeak. I don't want it to be really noisy. I do my bow drill, and this is what I'm using for my tinder bundle. It's pulverized pine needle. It's commonly around here, so you can just smash it up or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to try and whip up a coal. See if I can spin one up for us. I'm going to go back over here. It's really marshy and wet. You can see there's snow on the ground back here. You can just hear that it's just full of water everywhere. So That's why I put this bark down to keep keep my hearthboard out of the water. It's really important to always keep your friction fire kit dry, of course. It's got to be as dry can be if you possibly can manage it. Alright, my bow's getting a little bit loose. I'll just give it a shot. I use this sock here just to dry my foot off. I'm gonna buff a little bit, and I'm actually gonna use this to keep from getting so much moisture into my hearthboard, my Poly-pore. Okay. So I go like that. Got my coal catcher underneath there. Make sure that I got room for my arm so that I'm free. I'm not going into my arm, into my leg. I'm free to just have it rotate freely. Put that in there like that. Said to get a little bit of water to start the fire, as they say. And just get it in there. Yeah, I feel like it's running pretty smooth. Which is a good sign. Let's see how she goes. Got some smoke already. I'm getting pretty squeaky though. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Running nice and smooth now. I do my fire song to call on the fire spirit. Fire spirit, come and be with me. Fire spirit, keep us warm and free. Fire spirit, guide us through our life. Fire spirit, keep us warm and dry. Alright. Kind of a fun song my friend Starlight taught me. Okay, I'm pumping it right here. It's called the fire pump. Sorry, the heat pump. And I'm fanning the dust with it. Not sure if I got it cool or not. Maybe. It's looking so it keeps the heat in there. You don't take the spindle away and remove all the heat. So it looks pretty good. Looks like I got a coal. Yeah, I got a coal. So let's put this down. Try and keep it off the ground. You know, my spindle is up off the ground. You can see it's smoking a little bit, maybe, I don't know, it's pretty far away. So there you go, I got the coal going. And you don't have to really be in a hurry to like, oh, hurry up and get your coal into the tinder bundle, you know, it's going to go out. It's actually better to let it spread out and to absorb more of the dust. You know, that dust had to get 800 degrees for it to ignite. And so let it absorb and get a bigger coal. So the bigger your coal is, the more chance you have for ignition. Another thing I wanted to say about my tinder bundle is that don't skimp on your tinder bundle. You can see this is about the smallest I'd want to go. It's pretty dense, so I don't know how good the air is going to flow through it, but you know, you want to make it really big, because the worst thing is to put a coal into a smaller one, blow it up, and then have it blow through. And then you lost your coal and you have to start over again and use those calories. Or it could be a matter of life and death. You maybe know that was the only chance you got. It's going to start raining or something. So it's really important to not skimp and take the time to collect a good tinder bundle. Alright, it's my 2 cents. It's looking pretty good. Let's get this guy out of here. Say thanks. Fire spirit to come in. So I'll just tap this thing out of here. I didn't mention, but I had a coal catcher underneath it. Oops. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. This is the coal catcher. You can stand or go show you guys real quick. See that? That's what she looks like there. Nice coal. Don't want to blow it off, but see, that's what the hole looks like there. I could use some of that dust actually for a coal extender. I think I'll put her in here and see if we can blow her up into fire. Alright, well, I didn't take the time today to put out to actually build a fire lay for the fire, to actually make a fire. I'm just going to blow this up. It's pretty tight, like I said. So you always see people, they'll put it above their head, like this, above their eyes. Obviously they do that for two reasons, and one is that so the smoke will get in your eyes if it's above your eyes, and also you want to inhale the smoke. So kind of rotate it around sometimes to find a spot where it's not so tight. Let's get in there and get a lot of smoke. Here she comes. There she is. Alright. That's how you make fire. Fire with the Poly-pore. You! Rob out.